man. So Cameron, so you've been like in the roofing industry for like how long? Since what, 4 years?
It's been about, I'm going on my 5th year.
5th year, okay.
Yeah. 5 years in the roofing industry, over a decade in construction in general. So,
okay.
But definitely like the restoration, storm restoration and all that has been the past 5 years.
Wow, okay. Cool, man. So I mean, like, I know you mentioned that you have, I mean, you're also a veteran, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so how, like, share a little bit of that journey too, man, because it's, you know, I'm sure people
So 2010, I graduated high school. Wasn't really going down the path that I wanted, so took myself to military recruiters.
Okay.
Gave my old man a call.
So you just went in and you're like, what? I want to join the military.
Yeah. Well, it was like I didn't really have. I've always been, you know, creating my own path. Like you could tell me the stove's hot, and I'm the kid that's gonna go, is it? And I got to touch it to figure out that it's hot.
Yeah.
So, you know, I wasn't really. It's not like I was doing anything wrong, breaking the laws or nothing like that. But I didn't have a direction. So I called the old man 6 months out of high school, and I was like, I need you to take me to recruiters. And he's like, you're joking. I'm like, nope, I'm gonna go enlist. And I went into the United States Navy. I was an airframer or an aviation mechanic, working on C-2 Greyhounds and Hawkeyes as a Navy reservist. I did a boot camp at Great Lakes, Illinois. Then I went to Pensacola, Florida for A school, which is essentially like military college for your rate, the job that you're going to be doing.
Okay.
And I did that for about 4 years, one full enlistment. And when it came time to re-enlist, it just wasn't what I wanted to do anymore. So parted ways and jumped into construction after that.
Okay.
And you know, it was foundation pouring and concrete cutting, and then from there I did framing. From there I went to foundation stabilization using high density polyurethane, and then from there I came on board to roofing, so about 5 years ago.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, man. I mean, like, it's funny, right? Because it's like probably 10 years ago you never thought you'd be in roofing.
Oh no, absolutely not.
Right.
No, yeah, I had 10 years ago. I thought I had already made like where I was going to be. I thought I was going to be blue collar foreman for the end of days, and I just had an opportunity that somebody was like, you know, you're really personable, you're really respectable, you're very knowledgeable. I think you would do good in roofing. And I hit a point where it was like, you know, with life happening and everything going on, I was like, it's time for a switch up. So came on board roofing, and had no idea what I was doing. Zero. I was taught to identify damage, and it was trial by fire. Kind of just got tossed into it and just went. And I fell in love with it, man. And the people that you meet, the stuff that you get to do, the things you get to accomplish, and just really help people that are genuinely in need. It was super cool. Like, they don't understand construction, nor do they understand insurance. So being able to jump in that and be the expert in that field, it's super gratifying to help out. I've helped out hundreds of my friends, random strangers that have now become friends and family. Like, super, super engaging stuff.
So I mean, like, one thing that's like in my mind right now as you're talking, it's like, you said you're the kid that is like, hey man, this is hot, don't touch it, right?
Yeah.
Like, how is that part of your personality? Or, you know, I mean it stays with us constantly, right? Like, how does that translate into this whole new, you know, roofing culture, you would say?
Yeah. Dealing
with customers, and, you know, in my mind, it's almost like when the insurance is like, hey, we already checked it, there's no damage, you know? Yeah. You're like, no, bro.
Definitely. No, that's exactly it. I mean, like not touching the stove, or touching the stove and somebody telling me it's hot. I mean, it directly translated into roofing. I've had so many claims where homeowners like, where I already had my insurance out and they paid for half the roof. Okay. And I would jump in there and they'd be like, are you sure you can get this done? Like, yeah, I'm going to take a crack at it. And like, you know, another roofer tried and he didn't make it very far. I'm like, absolutely. That doesn't mean I can't. Like, just because he could, it doesn't mean I can't. So I would jump into it, and I got clients on clients that were awarded like half a roof, a quarter of a roof, or they just got the roof, and then I go in there and I'm like, nope, your windows are broken, your paint is broken, your siding is broken. Yeah. Just not taking no for an answer and really pursuing that stuff. I mean, it's more so like a go-getter attitude. I'm hungry for it. I want to be out there. I want to be helping folks. So it immediately translated into the industry because I can, it's water off a duck's back, you know? I don't care if you say no. I don't care what you see. It's what I can see, what I can prove, what I can get you from your insurance. Yeah.
I mean, why do you see, I mean, like, I've been in the roofing industry almost like 15 plus years now, you know, and it's like, it's the same story you hear over and over again. It's about like the insurance companies constantly saying, oh, sorry, we're only going to pay a part of this, you know? In my mind, I'm like, bro, the homeowners, right? They're paying their premium. Like, without fail every single month.
Yep.
For a coverage, right? And then, I mean, what have you seen even recent years, right? Like, why is that only half? And then all of a sudden, what happens? You show up and then magically what? Now they're buying the whole roof? Like, walk me through the process a little bit.
Most definitely. You know, it just really comes down to, it's the day and age. Things are changing. It used to be insurance would give you a quote. You find a contractor that can do it for that quote, no more, no less, and that was it. But nowadays, it's, you know, you find contractors that are working hand in hand with insurance companies, but homeowners don't understand that. So they think that they can handle their insurance by themselves, assuming that they're there for their best benefit, when in actuality, they're a for-profit entity, you know?
Right.
Every time that they say, you know, yes, Stevie, we're going to give you $1,000, that's $1,000 out of their pocket that they don't want to cough up.
Right.
So having a contractor there that's really able to dive into the construction and really dictate, like, no, this is genuine damage and this is why, A, B, and C, and being able to portray that stuff in a construction manner. Because anybody can go up in there and say, well, it's broken, I disagree. Why is it broken?
Right.
What makes you think it is? How is it? Can you prove it? And that's where I separate myself, because I'm able to step in there and be like, no, this is the hail that came through the area. This is the damage that we're seeing that you missed, or this is the way that I have to build that roof. And it's what you're asking is not, it's not appropriate. It doesn't follow building codes, but homeowners don't know these things. You know, they're not experts in the construction field. So we get the opportunity to dive in there and kind of just run through the insurance with them.
Right. Right. I mean, I think that's what, you know, constantly blows my mind. It's like homeowners are so willing and ready to say, oh, great, the insurance is on my side. And, you know, they're there to take care of me. And it's like, being in this industry for a while and hearing these horror stories of like them not being paid properly, or they're not made whole again, right? You're like, like, what else can we do to help convince some homeowners, like, hey, listen, we are here on your side? Because it is, right? I mean, people think, oh, you're a roofer, oh, you're just gonna screw me over. It's like, what? And I think that stigmas as well. I mean, like, how do you get over that? I know you're a great guy, so when I talk to you, you know, you use, you're like, hey sir, how you doing? And I'm like, oh man, okay, already I'm at mode of like, okay, this guy's gonna rock and roll, let's go, you know. But like, you're personally like, walk me through your you know, mental exercise that you're like, okay man, this is why I do it.
Definitely. I think the big thing, my process is I'm more focused on the relationship than the sale.
All right.
You know, I want this person, I want this individual to trust me. I want them to know, you know, I'm here on your best benefit. Like you said, these homeowners are paying their monthly premium without fail for years, in some cases a decade, without making a claim.
Right.
And they don't know any different. And then when they step into our world, it's like culture shock. They don't understand. Like, what do you mean my roof is $30,000?
Right.
My insurance only gave me $17,000. It's like, no, this is actually what that's going to cost. So I think a lot of salesmen, a lot of people in this industry, they get caught up in the sale and making the transaction. Whereas I'm here trying to make friends, essentially. I want people to feel comfortable coming with Monarch, feel comfortable working with me. I want to know their kids, their dog's name, what's bothering them.
Right.
I talk to some homeowners and I can tell they had a really nasty experience with a roofer. And that's the big thing. It's no longer sales. It used to be sale. But now I think what separates contractors from others is the ability to listen. What made you have a bad experience? Why don't you trust a contractor? Explain your last situation. Oh, he charged you an extra $7,000. Okay, I understand. That's not how that's supposed to work. You know, educating my homeowners is something that I really genuinely believe is something that is a lost trade. It's not just a transaction. I want you to understand, this is why I'm going after this. This is why I'm going to be supplementing all of your paint, because this tiny little chip dictates hail damage. Your property was affected by hail, and homeowners don't understand those things. So when you can bring light to it and explain to it in a way that they understand, like, wow, this gentleman knows what he's talking about. He's knowledgeable. He's respectful. He's not pushy. He's genuinely here to help me, and that's what I specialize in. Is I have homeowners that wish me Merry Christmas, Happy New Year's, Happy Birthday. They check on me, see how my family's doing, to see how my dogs are doing. That's something that I take joy in.
Yeah. No, I mean, it definitely takes a while for people to understand that. But then I think once, you know, they experience how you serve them, right? I mean, you know, you brought up Monarch because it's one of the companies that, you know, it's been around here for a while now, you know, in Denver area, and they've serviced a lot of people. And so it's like, having that brand with you, right, as you walk in with the butterfly, you know, it sends a symbol of like, hey, longevity, you know, integrity, you know, quality work, right?
Yes, definitely.
And so that kind of adds to it too. But yeah, my thinking, it's always like, man, yes, we get hit with hail, people understand it, but now we've had, you know, like, I think I want to call it a migration of people from California, from Vegas, from Texas, right, that are moving here to Colorado that they've never experienced hail before.
Never,
right?
Never. They've
And
never
so,
even understood it. Like, or the homeowners that say like, I didn't know my insurance would pay for that. That's one that cracks me up all the time.
Funny, yeah.
And they're like, what do you mean they're going to pay for my gutters? Why? Well, this is why. It has to come off for me to install the roof properly. Or windows is one of my favorite things. They're like, well, my insurance paid $250 for the window. Well, if you go to Home Depot and buy the window, then maybe you can get it for that price. But what about the drywall? What about the caulking? What about, you know, the siding manipulation? What about the paint? What about sealing it up to make sure it's watertight? Like, how is it actually genuinely being installed to meet building code? And homeowners don't understand construction. They don't understand insurance. They don't understand the verbiage that has to come with it to get what you need to get.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it's a process, man. It's a process for sure. Definitely. But yeah, I'm just looking forward to really educating. I mean, that's the main purpose of these videos too, right? So that people here locally here in Denver that own a home, that eventually their house is going to get hit. You know, it's what's that old saying? It's like, it's not if, it's when, right?
Especially here in Colorado, man. You get like you said, you get a lot of transplants. Folks that are from California, they've never seen hail. Some of them never even seen snow. You know, so to see like ice balls drop from the sky, have your windows shatter, your siding's falling apart, the paint's all chipped, you don't know what to do. You don't know which side's up. You know, you can't. And it's stressful. You know, it's things like that happen in the middle of you going through your daily day-to-day life. Like, you gotta feed the kids, you gotta get them to school, you gotta walk the dog, you gotta go make band practice, soccer practice, and then all of a sudden out of nowhere a catastrophic storm comes by and a lot of homeowners panic sets in. Like, they don't know what to do. Like, oh my gosh, like, this is going to be thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. I can't afford this. So to educate them and show them, like, no, this is the insurance route, this is what you're going to do, your insurance will take care of you, this is what they're there for. It's just gratifying, man. Like, there's dozens of homeowners that don't understand the process, have never been through the process, and it's nice to be able to essentially hold their hand and take them from beginning to end, and in some cases get like an exterior restoration that homeowners would never be able to get. Like, they would never be able to afford that.
No, absolutely. I mean, think about it, right? If somebody's like, all of a sudden, hey, if you don't do, because that's the thing with hail, right? People don't understand. It's like, yes, it's damage right now, and the damage is not going to like self-repair, right? It's only going to get worse, because here in Colorado, as you know, like right now we're in January and it's like 50 degrees, beautiful weather outside, and then now like what, next week it's going to be in the 30s, dumping snow on us. Exactly. Right, and so the freeze and thaw that's going to happen is actually causing, you know, more damage to the house 100%. That's unseen, right?
100%.
So,
or when it comes down to like paint's an excellent example. Like, people think, oh well, a little chip, you know, the hail caused a little chip in my paint all over through my house. It's not that bad of an idea though, until you look at the big picture of it. Well, that paint's actually protecting and sealing the wood from the elements. So if you don't take care of it now, then down the road it's not going to be a simple paint job. You're going to have to take off all that siding, because now it's all water rotten. You know, now it's falling apart. Now it's dilapidated. Now you have more of a repair that needs to be done just for me to paint it. And, you know, like I said, there's homeowners that don't understand that, you know, a paint job, an average paint job is $6,000 to $9,000 depending on the size of the property. I don't know about a lot of you folks, but I don't have that money sitting around just ready to drop because some gentleman came up to my door and said, you should paint your house. No, I don't have that type of expendable income. So to be able to show them, like, this is achievable, you are deserved this, you're owed this, that's why you have insurance. It really opens their eyes, like, wow, I did not know that's why they were there. I did not know they were capable of doing those things for me. Thank you so much.
And it's I think you touch on a big point there, because it is like, 6,000 to 7,000, right? We don't have it. How are you gonna have 30 to 40 grand, right? If you have such a huge claim to take care of your roof and your gutters and your paint, and now windows are jacked up, right? So it starts adding up really quickly. Right? And then you have the possibility of, like, if you don't do it in time, right? Like I think I just heard today, like I was talking to Dino, and he was like, "Oh yeah, man, some people have it in their policy. They have to make a claim within 6 months." Right.
Gotta
So if a
make that
homeowner
claim.
doesn't know that, then what?
Yep,
right?
Then they're stuck. And then what happens is when they call their insurance out, you know, let's say, so perfect example, last year a detrimental hailstorm came through. There are hundreds, if not thousands, of people that have not made a claim yet. But
Right.
what's going to happen is for those folks that have that 6-month policy, it might not happen this month, it might not happen, you know, in the next year, but 3 years from now they get a leak. And they call their insurance because that's what they think they need to do. And
Right.
the insurance turns around and says, you should have filed a claim 3 years ago because this is all hail damage.
Right.
We're not paying for anything. You're on your own. And
Right.
now that homeowner is looking at having to pay $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 out of pocket to get their home restored. Whereas,
and some of the homeowners are also, some of the things that I've heard is like, they're like, oh, I don't want to make a claim because I don't want my rates to go up.
yeah,
Hey, guess what? Your neighbors are making a claim, and that's how the insurance company, they do it by area code, right?
Exactly.
So everybody in the area code that got hit is making a claim, and so you're like, dude, I'm going to save my insurance company money by not making a claim.
Yep.
And all of a sudden, now you have everybody else in your neighborhood making a claim,
Yeah.
and because they made a claim, now
Your rates
your
are gonna go up.
rates are going to go up.
yeah.
And
exactly.
it's like, and people who are logical, they're like, oh yeah, man, that does make sense, right?
People don't, I have to explain to folks, like, yes, your rates are going to be affected, but it's not because you filed the claim. It's because your whole zip code was affected by this. And insurance companies never lose. So they're going to expel all this money. They're going to give out all this money to their insured to take care of them. But they're going to increase all the rates all the way around, so that way they make up their loss, right?
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, people are thinking, you know, like when you look through a policy and you read through a policy, right? And why are their policies like, you know, 30 pages long, right? Is it meant for a layperson to read through? No, it's like because their lawyers have gone through and they have, I don't want to say built a case or built a policy that's going to strengthen the insurance company's stronghold
100%.
when it comes to a payout.
100%.
Right? And so like we're here like, okay, all right, let me try to figure this out. It's like, no, we follow rules and regulations, and Colorado, I think, is a pretty good state for contractors and homeowners, right, to make sure that we are taken care of.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, I think of horror stories like in Florida now. Insurance companies are just leaving the state.
Yep.
Like,
Yep.
oh, sorry, see you later.
Yep.
You know, we're not going to take care of it. Yeah.
Or, I mean, like in those areas, even in Colorado, there's insurance companies now that are doing hail exclusions or hail deductibles, which is completely new. People don't understand that. They get a piece of paper in the mail in February that says, hey, we're making some minor changes to your policy. Well, the minor change to your policy means that for all other perils, so, you know, you have someone drive through the house, or a lightning storm comes and it strikes your house, or a tree falls, you have a $1,000 deductible. But you said hail, so now you have a $5,000 deductible. It's a percentage of your house.
Right.
You know, people don't understand that. So it's like, what I try to explain to homeowners is, yes, you are going to get a rate increase. It doesn't because you filed a claim, it's because everybody filed that claim.
Right.
What I'm here to do is to get your home to pre-storm condition and not let you miss that ship. Because when that ship sails, the worst thing that could happen is you're sitting on the dock watching it take off. All of your friends got a roof. All of your neighbors got a paint job. All of your neighbors got everything. You got a rate increase, but you didn't get anything done.
Right.
My job is to step in to make sure that you get taken care of the way you're supposed to. Now he's in a rush to hit that other red light up there.
Jeez, wow, man. To cut us off like that? Come on, man. Make sure we get this. That was good, dog.
Good.
That was great.